Orion is the newest coaster at Kings Island, and it is a B&M Giga, which has a 300-foot drop, 287-foot height, 91 miles an hour, and about 5,321 foot length. It's pretty short from drop to brakes. It's like 50 seconds. But, I mean, on ride doesn't feel too short. Yeah, it is shorter than like Diamondback though, so it is fairly noticeable shorter than Diamondback, even though it's like a 10-second difference. But yeah, I mean, they invested a lot, about I think $30 million for this, so I think it's a great addition for the park. And let's get into the on-ride POV. So here is the on-ride POV provided by the park. And going up the lift hill, it's actually a fairly fast lift hill, as you can see here. Once the full train goes up, it really just powers over it. So it's only like 30 seconds. So you get a pretty short time to really capture the view. But it is a really good view. To the left, you see like houses and like a bunch of woodland, because that's like the edge of the park. And to the right, you see all the other park of like Diamondback and Banshee, which is pretty cool. So going down the first drop here, so I was in the second row of my only ride, but even then you still got a ton of float air time all the way down. So it was really good, really sustained. Wave turn, it's kind of weird banking like that. I've never really had that on a ride before, but still cool. This turnaround, I mean, so it's like 200 feet tall, but it like does nothing, so whatever. Speed hill, this is personally my favorite part of the ride. It's really sustained, and going into the Camelback, also sustained, but it's not as strong airtime. The Speedo's like Flowjector, while that's just Floater. Helix, definitely the most intense part of the ride, but like, it doesn't really do much for me. I didn't even gray out on it, so... And I rode it later in the day, so, I mean, I usually don't gray out, though. This is probably my second favorite. It's a lot of people's favorite, that little twisted hill. And, yeah, probably a good Flowjector. Fairly sustained, too. And you got a really long brake run here. So, yeah, Orion, it is a fairly short ride, but I think it does enough to where it's like a somewhat, like, worthy amount of time spent on the track, and it doesn't like feel like super short like Raven or even Mystic Timbers, honestly. So personally, in the park, I have a number 2. I like Diamondback more because it just has more airtime, but I do like it better than Mystic Timbers. Now, I could have got a bad ride in Mystic Timbers. It was a morning ride, got kind of stapled, and I only had one ride on it, but I mean, to me, Orion is just a more enjoyable ride. It just has stronger airtime, or not really stronger, but more sustained airtime. And it just, yeah, you get a much better feeling of speed on that ride. But yeah, I really like Orion. I think it's a great addition for the park. I mean, if you like airtime, you'll like this ride. Now, I don't know if it'll be your favorite ride in the park, but yeah, I really like it. And it's my number 2 overall coaster. And yeah, if you get around to Kings Island this year or next year, you definitely should ride it.